Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Hour Crisis, and in this video I'd like to give you a guide for Beach Time Yuffie Solo Crash. Yuffie has no elemental weakness nor resistance, so in theory you could use any team on her, but in this crash we have event battle effects that increase our physical attack and water potency by 60% each, so with physical water DPS this battle is much more doable. And you also need Triangle and Exodus as there will be few Citro phases, and Yuffie will also attack you with both physical and magic attacks, so ideally you want both defenses, and she also keeps buffing her physical attack and also magic attack, so you might want something to debuff it. And also mid battle Yuffie will summon 2 other Yuffie clones that will keep attacking you, and Yuffie will keep you locked and unable to use any ultimate abilities, summon and overspeed unless you defeat her sidekicks, so for majority of the battle you'll be unable to use those extra abilities. Angio Banner is perfect for this battle as well as Tifa Banner because together they take care of the most required utilities, but the battle is still doable without pulling on those banners, it's just longer and harder. And also this Yuffie crash has those battle effects that increase our physical attack and water potency by 60% each, but Yuffie also has 27 million HP, which is very similar to Blitzrat which had 25 million, but we are able to debuff its water resistance and physical defense, so here those battle effects make Yuffie battle pretty much just as long, unless of course you pull on those 2 water banners, then you just speedrun through it. But I have a very similar team to what I use on Blitzrat, with Sephiroth being my DPS. However, without Angio's banner weapon he is just unable to debuff or resistance, so he is just kind of DPSing here, but without debuffing water resistance he isn't doing really that much damage. And Aerith is just buffing water damage and healing with Baharot, which generates extra AB. But Camera would of course be better here for survival, and Angio's here to provoke and also buff physical attack and physical defense. And with this team the battle is still quite long because it takes around 10 minutes. And I also tried Matt instead of Aerith, and it is also doable even with Sephiroth, but with Matmura buffing magic defense it is much easier to survive. However, the battle is taking longer because you don't have that water damage buff and you are not hitting as hard, but you also be getting closer to that 15-minute timer. But that's just with Sephiroth, who isn't a great physical water DPS, because Yuffie and especially now Tifa are so much better and they hit much stronger. But Sephiroth will hit much harder even if you have a very low overboosted Angio banner weapon, because it will allow him to debuff the boss and significantly increase his DPS. But without Angio's banner weapon, Cloud and Sephiroth, they have similar DPS output, and you could even use Glenn and his War Arcanum set if you want to, and even if you have Matt on your team, Glenn can boost his water damage as well, so he is actually very good physical water DPS for this battle. And I also slightly lowered my stats, not much because it's still crash after all, but depending on what you have you can boost your stats more with weapons that boost physical attack for allies, materia, brands and so on. Aerith has Bahamut outfit with Breath of the Earth, Baharot for heals, Bamboo to buff water damage, Princess Guard, Triangle and Exodus, as well as Cura for single target heals. And then in sub-equipment slot, Shark Slayer for HP and buff debuff extension, Duro players with physical attack for allies, and a Gale weapon with magic defense for allies. And it is mainly because I don't have any magic defense buffs, so I need a bit higher magic defense, and also Aerith has the lowest HP, so she gets targeted when Angio doesn't have provoke on. Angio has Odin outfit with Ad Astra, Tranquility for provoke, Store Integrate to buff physical attack, Ultimate weapon, Triangle Soldier in boost slot and Exodus, and well, D-Faith can be used to debuff Yuffie's magic attack, it's just a stat stick with magic defense for me. and then sub-equipment slots Angiel has Odin Sword with physical defense and attack for allies, Gargantuan Monolith with HP and magic defense, and Baja Sword with physical attack for allies. Sephiroth has War Arcanum outfit with Leviathan, Tempest for DPS, Shinar Blade is just for stats, but you can use Odin if it boosts your physical attack higher, because unless you pawn Angiel banner to be able to apply War Weakness, Exploit Weakness is useless. Genji, Triangle Sigil in both slots, a stat stick with physical attack and magic defense and X Sigil, and then in sub-equipment slot Seth has Mad Minute with HP, Slayer Day to max out physical attack, and also Fairy Gloves to boost attack, and they both boost War Potency. Alright, here at the beginning of the battle, Yuffie will target the character with lowest HP, so in my case it's Aerith, but you want to keep buffing physical defense for Aerith, and also you can take the time to use one bamboo to buff water damage, but just keep buffing physical defense and also Baharut for physical defense and also to generate extra AB. But with Sephiroth all you are doing is DPS, because he doesn't even need to apply Exploit Weakness unless you have Angiel's new banner weapon, so it's just Tempest for the entirety of the battle pretty much. Alright, let's just do Provoke on Angiel. But also don't use too much AB because we are about to get the Sigil phase. And it's just Triangle Sigil, so with Sephiroth you don't need to break Sigil, so just continue doing DPS, and with Angiel and Aerith break the Sigils. And on Sephiroth I also have Triangle Sigil, it's just in case of emergency, like my team being low HP and I just need to break it to not die, but otherwise with Sephiroth on Triangle Sigil phase just continue doing DPS and don't worry about anything. I know, let's see, come on. You could use Breath of the Earth here, but I'm just saving Breath of the Earth and Ad Astra for when Yuffie will start doing Landscaper Seal, because that will lock you out of using overspeed, summons and ultimate weapons. And now Breath of the Earth mainly to get rid of that MDF debuff that we currently have. And I also use Angiel's ultimate weapon to give us MDF buff just for a short time, but it'll still be helpful. Alright, let's just heal here. Provoke on Angiel, because you don't want to lose Provoke for too long at least. Because Aerith will get targets, which is fine, but just for a moment. Because if they hyper focus for too long, she will die. So you can lose Provoke when Aerith has the lowest HP on your team. So she gets targets, so you can generate extra AB, but don't overuse it. Because those Yuffie clones, they can hurt quite a lot, because now they use magic attacks and I don't have anything to nullify that debuff. Camera would be great if you have it, if not, the only thing you could do is, I guess, Gargantuan Monolith. But that would be just for Angiel, which is something, but not really much because you still need Provoke weapon. But you can't use all those abilities, those extra abilities like ultimate weapons, summons, limit breaks and overspeed, as long as those two Yuffie illusions they are still alive. But I would say unless you put on Angiel's new banner weapon to be able to apply War Weakness, it's no point to target and try to kill him, because you waste too much time And I would say just keep targeting Yuffie, keep ignoring those Yuffie clones, and just try to survive and not take too much damage, because Angio's buffing physical attack, so you want to keep him at over 70% HP if you can, so you can still buff it. But those Yuffie clones, they just pretty much do magic attacks. Or really just under 70%. Alright, physical attack is buffed, so that's nice. And the same thing here. It's triangle sigil phase. So with Sephiroth, just continue DPSing, and with Angio and Aerith, just break those sigils. Because Angio has triangle sigil boost slots, so you don't really need 3 characters breaking all of them. Alright, let's actually break those sigils quickly, because I don't want Angio to lose his reprieve. Cure him. And apply all those buffs. Alright, and here is a very short period of time where you can activate all those extra abilities. So I would say use it. Everything you have, use it, because just after this attack you'll be locked again and unable to use any of it. And of course Ad Astra is mainly to survive this attack, really. That's alright. But also with overspeed active, even though you are locked now, if you activated it before, it is active until it expires. So that's good, especially to recover. And you should be fine. But also next sigil phase will be X sigil. So if you have Tifa, I'm pretty sure she has X sigil boost slot, so you have it much easier, but without X sigil boost slot you need 3 characters breaking those sigils. And I pressed the wrong button. Alright, that will be close. 1, 2, right, fine. But also very good, Angio still has reprieve, which is what I wanted. And let's just... But really it's the same battle, because the clones, they just keep attacking with the same attacks. Yuffie does those same attacks, and also an explosion. I recommend switch to defense, because it is the attack that hurts you the most. Those cross ninjutsus and everything else, it doesn't really hurt, it just tickles, but the explosion, it's AoE and it actually does hurt quite a lot. Alright, explosion again. And Bloodbath, it's just single target attack, and that means you want your tank to tank it with provoke. But on this attack she always keeps debuffing physical defense, but you're safe. If Aerith managed to survive it, your tank will be great for that. But just heal him afterwards. Especially because Angio is the only one who keeps buffing physical attack. Alright, magic. Well, flora damage buff. And here it's the same phase again. So the same triangle sigil phase, but it depends. If you see the boss is barely still alive, so you can't just kill it, because those sigil phases, they are quite long. But yeah, without camera, you can try to get any other weapon, which will be hard because you'll be sacrificing either DPS or something else with this team at least. But you could try to get Mana Ward, but then again, you don't really have too much AB, and also materia, you need 2 sigils on Aerith at least. You need the cure for single target cura, so there isn't really much you can do. So just try to survive, keep switching to defense, and out heal the damage. And I think it works. The while is long, but it works, unless you want to pull on the banners that will make the crash much easier. But yeah, that would be all. So good luck on your own clear, and I hope you found my guide helpful. And in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next one.